Hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to The Farmer Was Replaced. This is a new game that we're having a look at today. Now, it's currently in early access, but I'm releasing this video against embargo, or at least the worth your time, worth your money. Regardless, it's at the time of you seeing this, it is likely now in 1.0 full release. I'm in the 1.0 branch. Now, what is this game? As best as I can understand it, it is one of those borderline edutainment coding type games, which I'm a huge fan of, not strictly coding, but things that are teachable through video games. Not to sound like such an old man, but I really wish the industry took a different turn during its infancy and was more focused on teaching. I constantly will say things like, I reckon you could do an engineering degree through a video game if someone so chose to design it, you know? But anyway, I digress. We can still learn from things like this. So essentially these drones with little farmer hats do farming. I've never played it. I'm going in blind. And I think you just write lines of code to make it happen. Now, just real quickly, my personal background with coding. As we've covered on the channel many times, I had a career in the Navy as a marine engineering officer, right? Or mech eng, whatever you want to call it. So I did a lot of MATLAB, which is more engineering specific coding, but it's very, it's almost like Latin languages, learning a second Latin language. There's a lot of overlap. In modern times, I actually did the learn to code thing and I went back into industry and I actually work with a lot of low-code programs, which are these sort of middleware, almost like how a GUI is built on top of your computer that you interface with. There's a whole thing going on. You can look it up. But so I do a lot of debugging and that sort of stuff in a lot of the contracts that I've picked up that drift sometimes into Java and that. So if you ask me if I'm good with Java, I would say, give me the problem and give me a week and I'll fix it. But I wouldn't say I could write something from scratch, right? So that's me. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, it's not Java. What am I bloody saying? SQL, SQLs. That's whatever. But things like Python, I've never touched. I don't think I have. Anyway, I digress. What's going on? Patch notes. So, right? No. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, we're really getting into it now. So I think this is going to be a bit more robust than something like Hacknet or something like that. A bit more Hollywood hacker that. But I really hope this game I'm happy to play dumb and put my dickhead low ability out there and just see if the game teaches us. This window contains information about everything in the game. Excellent. You can move windows by dragging them around. Very good. Get started. Go to the first program page by clicking on it. Maybe I should go back for... Shit. Getting started. Be sure to check out the buttons on the top right of this. Oh, right. Okay, cool. So this must be our main prompt. Okay, excellent. First program, text editor. All programming is done in code windows. Each window corresponds to a text file containing code. You can rename it by clicking on it. Excellent. Like that. Excellent. Your code can be edited like in any text editor. Geez, I hope we're recording. I'm just checking. It's almost become a meme at this point. Plug in a second monitor, Scarlett. No, I'll just tab out halfway through every single video ever. You can execute the program directly by pressing the green play button. Okay. Starts and stops execution. Executes one step of the code. Ooh. We'll walk through it. That'll help. You can create more code files using the plus button in the upper right corner of the screen. Oh. No, just delete that. We don't need that. Does it make F0 again? Okay, excellent. You can dock a window onto another by dragging it onto it. I want to understand all this basic stuff. Okay, and then... Dude. But I just should pull out my finger and make a video game already, you know? When you start typing, a symbol code completion window will pop up. Press tab. Yeah, so it's got predictive. Use arrows to navigate. That's fine. So it's tab, not up. Cool. Don't worry if this is your first time programming. Let's say it is, right? This language is unlocked step by step, so you won't be overwhelmed with all the things. The syntax is also similar to that of Python. Yeah, and again, like I said, I'm pretty sure MATLAB has a bit in common with that Like, and I even did like C way back in the day. We're talking 2001. But it's never really been my pure career until recent years, and even then, middleware instead. Most widely used programming language in the world, so learning it's not completely wasted. Wonderful, thank you. Again, I know I'm talking a little bit, but there's some things to cover. When the developer does this, when they put a mission statement, as I call it, that, you know, it breaks immersion, whatever. It talks to you, the player, as opposed to, you know, the game and teaching you it. I like when they just lay stuff out like that. It's helpful. It tells you where the developer's at and that they at least have some empathy to where you're at. If you already know Python, it's not a problem either. You'll just be able to skip the early game quickly and move to more interesting stuff. Okay, cool. Currently, there are two drone commands, harvest and do a flip. These are function calls. You can think of the function as a command that can be executed. You execute it using the parentheses, right? With me so far? It's not like I can stop. Try typing these statements into the code window and press the execute button. You can think of your code as a sequence of statements. You can run multiple statements in a row like this. Harvest, do a flip, harvest. And it will walk through it line by line, right? In fact, let's do exactly that, right? Harvest, and I guess I just punch the parentheses in myself. Do a flip, and then harvest, right? And then we'll tell it to play. Harvest, flip, harvest. Pretty groovy. Pretty cool. It does it again. You can see red, stop, pause. And I guess we can walk one line through and it highlights the line that it's on. Do a flip. Harvest. I guess maybe you didn't want to do a flip. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's not worry about that too much. Unlocks. Collecting grass will give you hay. Hay can then be used to unlock loops in the unlock menu. Oh, it's sort of like idle currency, but driven by a code, the piggy bank. Wait, does the hay go into the piggy bank? Ah! Oh, that's so cool. This is gay. I would have killed for this when I was a kid, man. God, I would. You could make programmers. This sort of stuff can make programming geniuses at 8 years old, mate. Collecting grass will give you hay. Unlock loops in the top right corner. Okay, so is that what this is? Unlock the tree. Oh, loops. Right, so like we've unlocked while. Okay. I'll just move this over here and then we'll cover it actually, so we're not too confused. While you have unlocked the while loop and the values true and false. The while loop keeps executing the loop body as long as the condition is true, right? While true. While condition, loop, body. Don't worry about creating infinite loops. The delay in the execution will prevent the program from freezing. Right. For beginners, perhaps you've already tried to put several harvests in a row. Harvest, harvest, harvest. Let's pretend that we did. All right, let's do that. Can I press, no, not up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Down, fix. Let's do something like that, all right? Harvest, harvest, all right? Seems to work, right? This allows you to harvest several times in one programming run. However, it would be nice to harvest more than 3 times, and write the same code multiple times is bad practice. It is, truly. You'll see why when we get the loop. Essentially, it's not efficient. You don't really want to write harvest 50 times when you can essentially write like 2 or 3 lines instead to do it infinitely. The solution is a loop. A loop allows you to run the same code multiple times. The while loop takes a condition, which is a logical value that can only be in one of 2 states. So true or false Boolean, such a value is called, well, there you go, is called Boolean value. The loop then executes the code inside the loop until the condition is false. The while loop looks like this. While condition, loop body, loop body, loop body. So it's sort of like, I don't know, I've never really had this explained to me. I just know this stuff, right? But, you know, profile text and then subparagraph, and when it's dashed in like that, it sort of belongs to that, right? God, that was probably more confusing, actually. Maybe just rewind and pretend I didn't say that. Where you have to replace condition with a Boolean value, and loop body with whatever you want to do in the loop, right? There are two constant Boolean values available. Constants are values that never change, all right? So I hope you're picking up what it's putting down. What it's saying is a 1 and a 0, a true and a false. There are only two things that you can put in there. They won't change. You can't put other things in there. That's it. I'll translate it into bogan. That might be easier. To create a constant Boolean value there that is always true, you can simply write true. Write false as a constant Boolean value will also always make it be false. So you could either write while false do a flip or while true do a flip. The first will never do a flip and the second will do flips forever. Normally creating an infinite loop is a bad idea because it will freeze a program. Yeah, it doesn't have a stop condition, right? Why would it stop? But in this game, there are delays between each iteration of the loop, so it will cause the drone to keep doing a flip until you manually stop it. Okay, cool. So they've built around that because they know it's a bit of a learner's sandpit. Notice how the line after the colon is indented? But that's what I was talking about, the thing underneath the thing. That's a much better way to put it. Indentation like this is used to separate blocks of code. Just press tab to add an indentation and shift tab or backspace to remove it. It's a bad idea, Dev, because shift tab opens the Steam overlay. But good effort trying. Or backspace. Well, you know what? You saw me coming. That's probably why backspace is there. Well, no, don't be a dickhead. Backspace is there because backspace is always a delete button. All right. The loop will be repeated. It will repeat all indented statements after the colon. That's what you put in your brain. Statements after the indented block will be executed after the loop is finished. Now, look, if I seem like I'm going slow for some people that get this, fine, right? But this is not an exercise for me to flex. This is me as an idiot talking to potentially other idiots to navigate this game as we go along, right? I feel like I haven't even looked, but I bet you there are channels that cover this and they're more interested in flying through it and making themselves look like a good programmer as opposed to just being an idiot of the people, of the commons, trying to get through a programming game. And that's what I want to be, right? Now, granted, I'm playing dumb a little bit because I know a little bit, but that's not going to last. It's only going to get us so far. Okay, so we can do exactly what's there, right? So while true, right? And then colon, and then we put, oh, look, it auto indents. Isn't that lovely? You just hit that, bang, do a flip, bang, and then off we go. Off we go. And he's just going to keep flipping ad infinitum. You can't see it. It's flashing. It is running. It's sort of doing this. That's how I see it. Runs down, goes back to the top, runs down. That's what's going on. Okay. Well, true, do a flip. Now, maybe I close this window. Maybe I close this window. How do I get those windows back up? Information. Wonderful. Okay. Well, look, let's go with what we've learnt so far. What have we learnt? Hats. Hats for your drone. Unlock for $50. Speed unlock for 20. Increase the speed of both the drone and the codex. Well, let's just run this. Oh, actually, there's a good moment in here, right? And I do a lot of tutorials in games, like I do them, not make them. I love when a tutorial teaches you something peripheral and then you move adjacent from said peripheral teaching. So it taught us to do a flip. Flip doesn't give us income. But what it also taught us peripherally was how to infinitely harvest. All right, you know how to do a flip? You're going to sit here without a screen, without a next button, because the next, follow the bouncing ball's easy, but you don't learn anything by just go, press this because I said press this. This is the greatest tutorial method that we're seeing right now in real time. It's taught us how to flip. We don't need to flip, but now sitting here with no direction, we know how to harvest. We do that. Don't hit enter. We don't need enter. And then we bang like that, right? And then off you go. Off you go to the races. Oh, well, let's go investigating now that we're making money. So grass yield. Now, what's this? Speed. We might just... Oh, wow, look at it go now. Now, this is interesting. Who can see what's gone wrong here? Welcome to Scarlett's classroom, the dumbest school teacher of all. It's going too fast to harvest, presumably. I haven't read the text yet, but we're not getting hay. We were before it went fast. Speed upgrade. The execution speed has been doubled. The problem is that the drone now harvests faster than the grass can grow, resulting in no harvest at all. This might be one of the fucking coolest educational... I shouldn't swear. I apologize for that. If only because maybe kids will watch this, younger blokes, that sort of thing, or like, I'm not presuming to be an educational teacher or tool myself, but if there's one thing I would really like to make an impact with, it is actually helping spread the word of edutainment, educational games. So I'll try and refrain from cussing, as the Americans say. To deal with it, we'll start again. Has been doubled. The problem is that the drone now harvests faster than it can grow, resulting in no harvest at all. To deal with this, if branches and the can harvest function are now unlocked. If I click on that, does that give me a definition? Oh, that is wonderful. Takes 1 tick to execute, right? Oh, okay, hang on. This isn't an actual back. Not really. Where was I? Speed. Okay. It'd be, dear Dev, maybe you watch this. Put the name of the table. Like, I know it doesn't say anywhere here that this is the speed category, and I intuited it. I guess it's in unlocks, which is helpful. Just put speed up here. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cough. Because there's so much going on. I know I'm almost really fourth walling to a dev or just in general. If someone is not super, like they're really new to coding, this might be breaking their brain. There's a lot to take in. And all it takes is the tiniest little sliver of an excuse to accidentally unrail them. So I can't find that page that I was looking for. It should be called speed, Alt F4, right? And, you know, in a way they can't get out of their own way. And I've been there. I understand that. But you want to try and remove as many roadblocks as you can to someone that's earnestly trying at their capacity to process something. All right, I'm going to have a sip. What would I know? I'm not a teacher or anything like that. Can harvest. So if we only had true and false as conditions, which of course is not very useful with if, because if is conditional, all right? The new function can harvest provides a better condition. Can harvest returns true if the plant under the drone can be harvested and false otherwise, right? So it's a check. It's a conditional check. If can harvest, and because presumably it's going to get more land it can move on, but for now it's going to just check the square that it's on by the sounds of it. That's what it seems that this does. Then do something, right? The reason you can use the function as a condition like this is because it returns a Boolean value, a 1 or a 0. A return value essentially means that after the functionality is executed, the function call expression evaluates to the returned value. What happens... Oh, sorry, I should read that better. Hang on. A return value essentially means that after the functionality is executed, the function call expression evaluates to the return value. It's all right. It's there. We get it. What happens when the above code runs? So the if runs, the can harvest is called, all right, sequential, 1, 2. Can harvest does its thing. Can harvest returns true or false. When they say does its thing, it looks at the floor and decides whether it's true or false. It then tells the code true or false. The statement is now if true or if false. This is so well broken down. This should be used as a teaching aid. Now, we can use if to prevent the drone from harvesting it too early, and it doesn't tell me anything more. It says go and figure out yourself. So let's see. How would we want to do this first? We could probably put it... Oh, that's cool. It just stops. Let's just jam this in. If can harvest. And then if can harvest... Maybe it'll work like that. Let's have a look. Error! There must be a colon. What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, that's why it wouldn't give me the automatic tab. If true, while true. So we've got a problem there. What if we separate it out? Nope. There's no indentation here. So what we need is, how about we go, if true, what's it called? No, harvest. It's just called harvest, right? Maybe that'll do it. Nope. Because you don't have a while loop going, right? I mean, can't just spam it. If can harvest. True. I'm trying to figure out how they teach this moment. Takes 1 tick to execute. Example, if can harvest, true, harvest. Wait, is that not what I did? And then surely we just put that within a while true. Oops. Oh, whoops. There we go. I thought that's what I wrote before. Is that not what I wrote? You could probably rewind the video. I got a little bit stumped by something, but I could, at least that's what I was trying to write. Obviously, I wrote it there then. You can see now it's going good. Right? It's not super clear. While true. So, oh, you can sort of see the pause. Flash, flash, pause. So it's running ticks. Kind of it's an else condition that's hidden away, right? But I'm sure that will come up. So what are we up to? 100? Let's just, let's go with this. Hats. You've unlocked a few new hats for your drone. Equip them like this. Change hat. Grey hat. Do a flip. Why do they have to do a flip? What if we just go change hat oh hang on, hats dot grey hat, right? What happens if I do that? Nope. Let's just delete that. Can I undo? I can. I can full redo. Oh, there you go. Change hat. You don't need to do a flip. Oh, okay. But can you just copy this code in, or don't do that? I'll copy this code in. I just don't want to lose track of my other code. We'll cut that. Okay, play. Here you go. Look. Oh my God, where'd he go? Oh shit. I broke it. Wait, did I legit break it? Where'd it go? Can I stop it halfway to keep the hat? There you go, we'll keep a pink hat. There you go, done. All right, I'm just gonna put my code back. Okay, we've got a pink hat now and we're not broken, so that's good. It just disappeared. Where'd it go? All right, cool. So what else can we do here? So we can increase speed for 20 wood. That's a different currency. We can increase the yield of the grass. Now, what else can we do down here? Expands the farm and unlocks movement for 30. Unlocks planting. All right, well, I think let's pony up. Let's do it. All right. He's just going to keep... Oh, look at him just sitting there. Expand 1. Your farm has grown. This space is not much use if you can't move the drone. So there is a new move that moves the requirement. Oh, sorry, that's a full stop in there. That moves the drone, right? Move require. I'm moving it over here so I don't lean so much. Move requires, put your code out here, that you specify the direction in which you want to move. There are 4 new constants, north, south, east, west. For example, move north will move the drone 1 square to the north. If you move over the edge of the farm, the drone will be moved to the other side of the farm. Ah. Following example code will keep moving the drone north and wrap back to the start when it reaches the edge of the farm. Okay. So, is there anything stopping us from putting this inside while true move north? While true, if can harvest, harvest. And the while just creates an infinite loop, right? So what we would probably want to do for efficiency's sake is squeeze this in here. Or we don't have else, do we? If can harvest first, and then let's go move north. Let's see what that looks like. Look at that. That's excellent, isn't it? Do you understand what's going on? I'm sure you can, but we could go faster. Look at that. That's harvesting so quick. Or regrowing so quick. Can I afford any of these yet? 300. Increase the yield of the grass. Let's do that. And that's going to go to 500 wood. All right, cool. So 20 wood. So this thing's next. Plant entities bush. How big is this tree? Oh yeah, big enough. All right, here we go. Plant. Grass is nice because it grows automatically. All other plants have to be planted with the plant function. Plant. The only plant that you can plant right now, please stop making me say that word, is now a bush. You can pass the type of plant you want to plant to the function like this. Plant entities.bush. This will plant a bush under the drone. Okay? And entities is just like a sort of control designation group. Entities.bush. Because we saw something like that with hats, right? Hats.green or something. Call clear to reset the farm to all grass and reset the drone position. It seems that if you grow more than one type of plant on the farm at the same time, you can sometimes get a higher yield. You'll need to research polyculture to learn more. That is interesting. Is that coming up shortly? Carrots, debug, operators. Is it down here somewhere? Expand, plant, speed. Where is it? Polyculture, all the way down there. Companion planting to increase yield. Okay, but that's ages away, right? So until then, for all it really matters, for all intents and purposes, we don't need to grow hay anymore, right? Oh, I guess to unlock them, but we definitely need wood, which presumably we get from bushes. All right, so what will we do? I want to run some tests. One, what happens if I try and call... What happens if I do this? If I just copy this into this function and run this function. Okay, it works. Fine. We're going to use this as a test bed. So what we'll do is we will go plant entity dot bush, right? And then if I do that, now what happens if I do it again? Nothing, but it doesn't error. So there's no real harm in just planting. Like, you don't even have to do a conditional check or anything like that. You can just plant. Right? So what? While true, plant entity. See if that works. There you go. Oh, that's interesting. So harvesting the bush deletes it whole cloth. So what I did actually was just dirty slop code by telling it to plant check every tick, right? Not exactly ideal, I guess. But the alternate was maybe to like condition check, but that might take more than one line. It depends how you do code and how clean you want it to be and how you interpret clean. I reckon the less lines you use, the better it is. But I'm also terrible. I'm the sloppiest code writer. So that's good. That's harvesting SL wood. It's, probably, I don't think I could write it better if I tried. And I did. So expands the farm to 3x3. Increase the speed. Oh yeah, speed that up. All right, we need carrots now. Let's see what that looks like. Excellent. What did I speed up then? Both the drone and the code execution. Oh, really? Excellent. So we can expand the farm size. We can unlock carrots. Debug. Let's unlock that. Oh, we're not quite there. Operators. If and. Excellent. I mean, we do want to expand. If I press this, are you going to tutorialize me? Yeah, okay, this will be interesting. Your farm has expanded again. Now the tiles are no longer in a nice row, so you need to find a way to traverse a square grid. We can probably close all this crap, okay? With the while loop, this is not possible until you unlock sense and sensors and operators. Okay, cool. That's what I was sort of ruminating on. It's like, should we unlock the other thing first? You can read all about the for loop on the for loop page. Oh, it's time to introduce the for loop. Okay, so they're giving us that. Probably good timing, honestly. But for now, you will only need it to repeat code a fixed number of times. Do n flips for... Are you assuming that I've got commented... I think it's assuming that I unlocked debug, right? I'm not sure. Well, no, print. Anyway, whatever. For I in range 5, do a flip. Range n creates a range of numbers from 0 to n minus 1. Okay? So range 5 will set numbers from 0 to 4, which is still functionally 5, right? In which it has n elements in it. For loops run its loop body once for every element in this sequence. In this example, do a flip, it will be called 5 times, right? So instead of infinite, because as we establish in coding, just running infinite anything's usually a bad idea. Having some sort of limitation or condition and, an iterative count in a for loop is a pretty good solution, right? The function getWorldSize is also available now. It returns the size length of your farm. This way you can write code that won't break with the next expand upgrade. For I in range getWorldSize, harvest, move north. In this example, harvests one column of the farm for any farm size. If you're stuck trying to figure out how to move the drone around the farm, there's a hint below. Oh, very clever. I thought we'd seen everything, right? For I in range, get world size. So it will measure, range is from, no, get world size, returns the side length of your farm. Yeah. I don't quite understand what you're conveying with that. Like, is it just the static number of the entire blocks across? Can I not click on this to interrogate it? I mean, let's just, for the sake of it, we'll copy that code in whole cloth and see what it does. Move north. Ah, okay. For I in range, get world size, which is 3, harvest, move north. So as I understand it, starting at the center, we hit this, it does 1, 2, 3 versions and move north at the end, right? Harvest, move, harvest, move, harvest, move. 3, and it's doing it because of the, it's doing 3 loops, right? It returns the side length of your farm, which is 3. So what you probably want to do is you'll have this loop and you could probably encase it in another for I range, get world size, something like that. I mean, I'm about to wrap up anyway because I don't want to go too long, but I don't like leaving problems unsolved. Because get world size would be 3. So yeah, so like this is just me throwing it at the wall real quick. God, it's squeezing already. So it would be 4i in get world size range, and I would say something like move east. Because what we want to do is we want this to happen 3 times. Oh, that's it. Maybe if we put it inside that. Oh my God, hang on. What are you doing? Yeah, silly. Nah. East has never been defined, has it not? Oh, it's capitalized. Would that not work? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Look at that. And then we'll slap a while true on the front of it. Will it? Oh, can you just update it for me, please? Game. That's a little bit of a pain. It's all right. It's workable. It's fine. All right. And now that should infinitely do our farm, right? Excellent. And then what we really want to do is combine the two, right? Because we've got this while true plant entities bush, if can harvest. I mean, that's an important relic. It's going to, as we speed up, it's going to be important to do that. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there for the moment. What I'm saying is I could just easily put a plant entities bush in this as a challenge. But what I want to do is keep the original spirit of the if condition to check against speed, because we're inevitably going to speed this thing up and we're going to start running the same problem where it goes too fast to harvest, presumably. Anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. The farmer was replaced. This is really cool. I'm glad the dev reached out and shot me a key, because that's how this worked. I hope this has been not too painful for prudish flexers that are going to write me a wall of text about how fucking great they are at coding. And guess what? I don't give a shit. This is not about you telling me how good you are. But for the other end of the scale, maybe you're really new to coding and you find it really intimidating, and hopefully you found it helpful coming from a lay person, right? Like, I know my coding, but I'm in no way an expert. And anyway, so humbly, hopefully, I was able to convey some learning and help some people get the basics of this. Anyway, it's a cool game. Let me know if you want to see some more. We'll do some more episodes. Otherwise, might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.